The most interesting thing that I'm looking forward to has nothing to do with this year. It's all about next year. Where does Dak Prescott go to next season? If the Cowboys and him cannot agree to a contract, they need to pay CeeDee Lamb, Micah, and Dak.
They know who to pay.
Only 2 of those 3 could get paid, and I think they're going with CeeDee and Micah. What's the perfect destination for Dak Prescott next season?
So I had the 3. I thought just top destinations for Dak Prescott.
What's number 1 for you?
On my list, I did have the Cowboys. I feel like they should re-sign him. I think that he should be their quarterback of the future. Next on that list, San Francisco 49ers. If they don't think that Brock Purdy can be that guy, they go and they sign Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott can go and be the quarterback of the future. I think Brock Purdy is the quarterback of the future. That being said, if San Francisco isn't on that same page, I'm just throwing it out there that it could be a possibility, Riv. I like Brock Purdy. I would even go as far as say I love Brock Purdy.
He's more playoff wins already.
He does.
He's one of them ones.
But again, we see in situations where quarterbacks get cold, teams get cold feet with quarterbacks. Shit, you can even I won't have Miami
Jimmy
on this
Garoppolo
list,
is
but
one.
Miami could
Quarterbacks
also
in
be on
regress.
this list with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Last team I have on here, most importantly to me, the Denver Broncos. Legitimately, we have the money to offer to him. It could be a Russell Wilson situation part 2, but I feel like at this point, Dak has I don't see a fall off like Russell Wilson's with Dak. Dak sees all over the field. He can get out of the pocket and still extend plays in that regard too. I think Dak Prescott to the Broncos also can be a strong possibility. We have a strong offensive line. We don't really have weapons on the outside, but we are building in that regard. That's really going to be what we have to add next, but that would be the last spot for me.
The number 1 destination that I want to see Dak Prescott go to next year, if he's a free agent, is the New York Giants. Go to a division rival. It's a team that they don't have a quarterback. Daniel Jones is not the quarterback in the future.
God. Can you at least give him a chance with
They
Malik?
don't have the money. Well, they aren't tied to him long term. After this season,
They can get out.
They could cut him. They could get out of his contract, and now you just free up a ton of cap space. Cap space that could be used to go get Dak Prescott in Brian Dable's system with a weapon like Malik Neighbors. Dak Prescott would be amazing in New York, and he goes to a division rival. He plays Dallas twice a year, so he gets to beat them twice a year. I think that's the perfect destination for
Like
him.
a Brett Favre 2.0 going to Minnesota?
Yep.
Tough.
John, what you got, man?
I think the best Dak Prescott destination would be a team that not too many people will be thinking of. It's Las Vegas Raiders. I look at that.
Definitely had that thought in my brain.
I look at that quarterback room right now.
Vegas
And
makes a lot of sense.
It's Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew that they just signed this offseason. And I think Dak would come in, and I don't know why y'all giggling so much, but he would come in for a
tells you how much
super
it bothers
talented
him.
offense. And a defense that's building something around Max Crosby, one of the premier pass rushers in the game. There's a lot of talent on that team, but I think upgrading that quarterback would really be what elevates them just to being a 9 or 10 win team. And I think after years of dysfunction and turbulence, Dak would be a pillar of stability and structure. He can help you have elite offenses if you give him good weapons. Is he going to win a playoff game? Probably not. But I think he could be more than good enough for Raider fans to be happy.
And they would have Devontae Adams, Jacoby. They'll have a really good team. Brock Bowers.
A lot of tight ends.
I think the most important thing for him to think about is why would I go to the AFC? Why would that make sense? Because I think the AFC hosts probably 7 out of 10 best quarterbacks in the world.
You can't even get past the first round in the NFC.
Yeah, but like now you're going to go over to the AFC where most of those quarterbacks, the top guys, are pretty much so much better than you. Mm-hmm. And it's already a stranglehold in the AFC. Your best bet is to stay in the NFC. I've thought about a couple teams. Money is just tricky. I've thought about Cleveland. If Deshaun Watson doesn't work out, go over there.
Lit.
You already have a defense there. Kamari Cooper, though, he's getting up there in age. I thought about maybe Tampa Bay swapping quarterbacks. You know, Baker Mayfield is good, but Dak Prescott is an obvious upgrade. You know, and then I thought about him staying in Dallas because I think ultimately that's kind of been his home for the past 7 to 8 years, however long he's been there. That's kind of been
Longest
the place.
tenured quarterback on the same team.
Yeah, it's shocking. And I think, you know, as much slack as Dak gets, I do think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, and I do think he can do it. It's just about if Dallas can even put the pieces together. But I definitely think Cleveland would be like my favorite dope spot if it can happen. You know, if Deshaun flames out. Pittsburgh is another one.
Pittsburgh's a good spot.
That's dope. Like those two teams I'm thinking are teams that are like a quarterback away.
No.
What do you mean no?
Why?
Why is it no?
I don't want to commit so much money to Dak Prescott because I think he would put a ceiling on our team and rather take a swing on a quarterback in the draft rather than
You
Dak
don't
on the
even
wrong
get
side
bad
of the
enough to
field.
The
take a
last
swing on a
swing you
quarterback.
took on a quarterback was Kenny Pickett. He sucks.
That wasn't a swing to me. That was a reach.
Took him in the first round. That's a swing.
We can.
Reach,
Is
swing,
Justin
fucking
Fields
trade up for a
a
quarterback.
swing?
It's the best swing.
It's an exciting move. I think we could always trade up for a quarterback. We see it every single year. As a Steeler fan, I don't want to see Dak.
Listen, I think
I
the
don't understand
Steelers,
why.
He's a really good quarterback.
the Steelers is a good destination. I think another good one would be the Tennessee Titans.
You're just saying that because you want to see us suffer.
If Will Levis is not that guy, which who knows if he's going to be, we don't know yet. Dak Prescott going to the Tennessee Titans, I think that would give them some stability, and they will be able to compete in the AFC South every year.
I don't disagree at all.
The other team for me, I mentioned the Raiders before, that I think would be a perfect situation for Dak Prescott to win a playoff game in would be the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, they have Deshaun Watson's contract in the books for the next 2 years after this season, and they're kind of stuck to that. But in 2 years, I think Dak going into that offense with how much middle of the field targets they have
Facts.
would be an absolute weapon through the pocket. They've got a really good defense. It ain't that funny. I promise you, dog. And they've got a good enough running game. Him and Kevin Stefanski would be a really damn good duo. I think
I'll tell
they'd
you
be
what.
good.
I did not think of that.
Dak Prescott and Cleveland. What are you giggling at? What's so funny to you, Riff? Let's hear it. I want to hear it, Riff. Come on.
Yo, that shit is breaking news.
It's like I just said that.
He just said all of this.
And then you just repeated it.
John,
That's why we all
unfortunately,
looked at
facts,
you like.
facts.
I'm
John,
not
he
the
said
only one
all
laughing,
of
John.
nah,
Why are you
nah.
like singling me
John,
out?
I'm sorry. It's true. He said all of this.
Did you not hear it, or you did hear it, but you just wanted to say your 2 cents on it?
It's all right to say you didn't hear it. I think I would rather.
I did not hear it.
Okay. I understand.
Okay, that makes more
I
sense.
can tell you why.
Because you don't listen to Riff when he speaks?
Not that.
Thank God. We would have had it.
I was scanning through the list of teams, and when I was scanning through, I didn't hear all the teams you mentioned.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair, John.
That's why we all looked at you kind of like, bro. Like,
What a way to end the show.